Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Sarah Collins. I'm here in Casper, Wyoming. Hopefully I don't glitch too much. We have had some weird stuff going on with my Wi-Fi. So start waving in the screen. We're so grateful you guys are here. There's so many here. And you guys, it's going to be an amazing day because it is a great day to have a great day on purpose. So here's a few things about how this workshop will go. It's helpful to have a pen and paper ready to take notes and write down your questions. We love to honor your time. So this workshop will be about an hour long. Sometimes it's a little bit quicker. You'll want to stay on until the very end. Sometimes people get off, so stay on to the very end because there will be a giveaway. And it's a really helpful gift. Actually, there's two gifts that you guys will really, really want. We'll be using the chat feature throughout this workshop. So let's warm it up by clicking on the chat button. And I want you guys to tell us where you are from and who invited you. All right. Perfect. Lakewood, California. Love it. Arkansas, Colorado tonight. Love it. Got it traveling on the road again. All right, Bobby, I'm ready. Okay, Bobby's got this, you guys. I believe her. She's my Wonder
Just hit the right arrow button.
This is what makes it so beautiful as we get to learn together.
My computer has three dots in front of me going like this. Okay, so hang on, you guys. There it is. Do you see it?
We do.
What would you like to address?
Got it. So we always want our workshops to be personal and helpful for you. So let's start with a personal assessment for you and your family. Usually we always put that to the side, our family. So I want you guys to make sure you put that in the chat. So what areas of your health would you like help with? Comment in the chat the numbers representing the areas you or someone in your household struggles with. And you can put multiple numbers for me. Number 1, digestive. Number 2, headaches, pain, and inflammation. 3, immunity issues. 4, stress and anxiety. 5, energy and stamina. Number 6 is sleep issues. 7, blood sugar regulation. I think you'll be excited at all the many options you have to take care of root causes or issues for your health. Lots of 6s, lots of 7s. Perfect. I love it. Next. Perfect. So we're going to look at 2 different approaches to health as we begin this workshop, the modern approach and the natural approach. So some startling facts about the modern approach, and this is just crazy to me. The U.S. consumes 75% of the world's prescription drugs, even though we only make up 5% of the world's population. Did you guys get those numbers? Every 19 minutes, someone in the U.S. dies from an accidental overdose of prescription meds. Our FDA estimates that 200,000 Americans are hospitalized each year because of overdoses and negative side effects of over-the-counter products like Advil, ibuprofen, and aspirin. And I just shared a really good thing about ibuprofen. You guys will have to go watch. These products are also the cause of thousands of deaths per year. Even Tylenol, which is commonly used for infants, is known to cause liver damage if used in excess. I mean, everybody here, I promise you, use Tylenol. I mean, it's crazy. In addition, we're looking at $6.5 trillion spent each year on global healthcare. The question is, are we any healthier? With the modern approach, we are programmed to use the over-the-counter pills and prescriptions to address physical problems and symptoms. With this focus, root causes and solutions are often overlooked. I want you to check out that natural approach. Here we focus on the root causes and use a plant-based approach because our body is designed to recognize those plant sources. I'm just gonna, oh, Bobby. So we're gonna talk about dis-ease. I love that Jules talks about, she says it that way, or disease. So there are 3 main factors that cause dis-ease or disease in the body: nutrient deficiency, inflammation, and toxic overload. So first, nutrition is a source for disease, and at the core of our immune function, when our foundational nutrition is strong, sorry, my computer just went berserk, is strong, we function optimally. We have energy, we think more clearly, our mood is better, we get great sleep, and we have little inflammation. Wouldn't that be amazing for everybody here? I know, me. The Environmental Working Group put out this information on this chart. 95% of US adults are deficient in vitamin D. 94% are deficient in vitamin E. 61% are deficient in magnesium. This data shows that our nutritional foundation is not strong enough. It shows us that the most Americans do not have the great baseline health. How do these nutrition deficiencies show up? Inflammation, headaches, trouble sleeping, foggy thinking, lack of energy, digestive issues. I can attest to that one. Do any of these hit home for you guys? Poor nutrition is the #1 cause of poor health. So what causes inflammation? Our second source of disease or disease. Chronic inflammation is linked to many diseases, some of which are listed on this slide. One of the biggest contributors is sugar. You guys, look at every freaking label. It's crazy. That is what's in everything. It's hidden in nearly everything we consume, particularly in processed foods. Industrial oils like vegetable oil, palm oil, corn oil, soybean, and sunflower. Sunflower, you guys, has been promoted huge right now, so really want you to look into that. Toxins in our environment, stress, and lack of sleep. This is funny. We're quite the combo right now. All right, toxic load is the third area we are looking at a source for disease or dis-ease that refers to chemicals in our body that are built up from the environment, processed foods, pesticides used, and personal care products. The Product Safety Commission tested and found 150 cleaning chemicals that are linked to ADD, asthma, cancer, reproductive problems. I'm going to highlight that one more time because everybody that I've been talking to the last 2 weeks has reproductive problems, respiratory problems, and more. We can't always control what we come into contact with outside of the home, but we can make smarter choices in our homes. So what did we do with all this? You guys, I want to introduce my friend, Lori.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here, and I can attest to that sometimes it gets overwhelming just to try to figure out, well, what's causing the way I feel. And this is a great way to take care of that situation. We're going to talk about supplements and what's in the supplements that we're looking at. Sometimes they're not the bargain that we think we're getting. So we're going to look at the first health solution. Before we do that, let's go to the chat feature. Who here uses a supplement? Think vitamin D, C, B. Maybe you take a multivitamin or an omega. Does anybody take any vitamins? Oh, LLV, yeah. All of them. That's a good one. One a day, DDR prime, that's all great. Let's take a quick peek at the supplement industry. A study by the FDA from 2007 to 2016 detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements produced by 146 companies. Another study of the 3 leading memory supplements found that 2 of them didn't even contain the active ingredient listed on their label. The supplement industry is not heavily regulated. Products can contain lots of fillers and not much of the ingredients listed. If you have some reservations or hesitation as to whether a product would work or not, this information supports your concerns. As I mentioned, the supplement industry is not regulated. Here's a story from a fellow wellness advocate whose son works in a health store. He told his mother that when a supplement on the shelf is tested and found to be missing any active ingredient listed on the label, the store has up to 9 months to remove the product from the shelves. That's concerning. Because our standard American diet is deficient in most vitamins and nutrients, it is necessary to supplement to get our body what it needs to function properly at a baseline level. So let's make sure we are using safe and effective supplements. Ready to learn about the first health solution? Lifelong vitality. doTERRA is known for its safe and effective oils, but did you know that lifelong vitality supplements are doTERRA's best-selling product because they effectively address all three disease areas we just mentioned: the nutrient deficiency, the inflammation, and the toxic overload. This is aligned as the necessary foundation of your health house. In addition, this line helps support the cleansing and filtering out of toxins. There are 3 supplements in this line: a food nutrient, a cellular repair, and your omegas. This line is your micronutrients. Lifelong Vitality fills the nutrient buckets in your body, contains powerful antitoxins to help protect our DNA. It's made with whole food ingredients and 95% bioavailable for your body. The average supplement you find is 20 to 30% bioavailable. This product has gotten more people off their over-the-counter and prescription drugs more than any other product doTERRA sells. Does anyone have a testimony they'd like to share? Leslie?
So I love a lot of doTERRA's products, but I also go to a medical doctor who does also holistic health, and he has kept my health going for a long time and did a great job. And so I really wasn't interested in using Lifelong Vitality at all, even though I had people telling me I needed to try it, just do it for a month. And I kept saying, no. Well, last December, something happened with my health and I wasn't sure what it was, but I felt just terrible. My blood pressure was through the roof. My heart rate was through the roof. It was over 100. I had severe back pain, excruciating back pain from my middle of my back to my shoulders. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. So when I finally got to my doctor, he took a blood test, and my blood tests were just completely off. I've never had blood results like this. My C-reactive protein, it's supposed to be between 1 and 3. 3 is normal high. It was 300. So it was like through the roof. And we just talked about inflammation, right? So a ton of inflammation in my body. Didn't know what was causing it. And many other things were just really lopsided. Things were either super high or super low. And he was ready to send me to a specialist to find out what was going on with me. And I thought, oh, no, really? So I thought to myself, okay, what am I going to do? I'm missing something. And then I thought, maybe I ought to start taking that Lifelong Vitality and see if it helps. Can't hurt. And if there's no change, no problem. And if there is a change, great. Guess what? After 6 weeks, I saw the first change. I had another blood test taken. I was having blood tests every 2 to 3 weeks taken. Not much change until at the 6-week mark of taking Lifelong Vitality. And my blood results, lab results, came back normal for the first time in like 6 or 7 weeks. I was amazed. My back pain just stopped. I could tell the inflammation in my body was gone. I could walk at my normal gait. I could walk, 2, 3, 4 miles without a problem. So I knew I was back to normal. And the only thing I changed was lifelong vitality. So take it and see what it can do for you.
Thank you, Leslie. That was a great testimony.
You're welcome.
With anything, you sure hope you hope for the best, but you're not with the 95% availability of how your body absorbs the nutrients in doTERRA. It's kind of a no-brainer. We think we have to think really hard about this, but for some reason, we get confused or something like that. Really, just take it. So thanks for that testimony, Leslie. We really appreciate it. Let's look at this next slide. That's the 60-day clinical trial. You'll see some interesting statistics here. These clinical trial results are based on blood work taken before and after subjects took doTERRA's lifelong vitality supplements for 2 months, while continuing their normal diet and exercise habits. This is the difference that can be experienced when you begin taking bioavailable nutrient-dense supplements like lifelong vitality. I consider lifelong vitality as part of my food budget and would urge you to do the same. It's less than a cup of coffee at your favorite coffee place. If you purchase it through our customer rewards program, you also get points to get future products for free. To focus on our gut health specifically, lifelong vitality paired with PB Restore and TerraZyme is our highest recommendation. The gut plays a vital role in our overall health and well-being. Often called our second brain, the gut is vital in everything from our weight to our immune function to our mental wellness. And if you're on today and you're going, oh, well, I'm getting overwhelmed, don't get overwhelmed. Start with the lifelong vitality, and we'll continue to explain these. Don't think you only need to come once. We're always here on Monday, and we talk about these vitamins and minerals and supplements that doTERRA gives. So stay with us. And so the first one is the doTERRA's PB Restore Pro Biome Complex is our patented duo capsule delivery system. It is a unique formulation of 30 pre, pro, and postbiotics that help restore microbial diversity and balance for optimal microbiome health. With this unique dual encapsulation delivery system, it protects the sensitive probiotic cultures from stomach acid, delivering it safely and effectively to your gut. There are 18 billion colony forming units, CFUs, of probiotics or good bacteria, consisting of 24 active cultures. An unparalleled variety of carefully selected strains from 22 different species of exceptional microbial diversity. It maintains healthy intestinal microflora balance. It supports healthy digestive and immune system function, as well as GI tract health, especially intestines and colon. It supports optimal metabolism and food absorption. In simple terms, when you have a healthy microbiome with good bacteria, bad bacteria has a harder time doing its dirty work. And if that sounded like a lot of technical information, you're right, it is, but it's really important to understand that what is packed into this is just that strong and that powerful, and it can make that big of a difference in your health and body. Now let's look at TerraZyme. It's doTERRA's digestive enzyme. It includes a variety of whole food enzymes that help with digestion. It can be taken with every meal, and it supports healthy digestion and metabolism and the conversion of food nutrients to cellular energy. It promotes gastrointestinal comfort and food tolerance, and it has 10 active whole food enzymes. what TerraZyme does is help break down the food that we eat. It's very important. Now I am going to be passing the microphone off to Leslie.
Hey everyone, it's Leslie again from a very warm Southern California. And it's time for a little interaction. So we're heading into the second section of our workshop, and I want to make sure you're still with me. So find the chat feature as you did in the beginning of the workshop and in Lori's section. And here's your first question to put the answer in the chat feature. What percentage has diabetes increased since the 1960s? Put your answer right in the chat feature. So 200%, 150, 198%. Can you believe it's actually almost 700%? Second question. How long does it take the average American to consume the same amount of sugar that our ancestors from 200 years ago would consume in a year? So again, put your answers in the chat. So 1 month, 26 weeks, 6 months. Can you believe it's only 2 weeks? 2 weeks. That's just unbelievable. Well, now we're going to take it to cardiometabolic health. Only 6.8% of the population have optimal cardiometabolic health. That means that 93% of Americans do not have optimal cardiometabolic health. We already have discussed the challenges that we face when we are not functioning properly. So let's dive into some solutions. We're going to talk about the MetaPWR metabolic system. The MetaPWR system was specifically designed to tackle poor cardiometabolic health. This is your macronutrient line. It pairs beautifully with lifelong vitality, our micronutrient line. The MetaPWR line does 3 things. 1, it addresses cellular repair that leads to aging. 2, it addresses blood sugar regulation. And 3, it supports the inhibiting of fat absorption cells. Let's talk about lifespan and health span. Well, we can't do anything about our chronological age, which is our lifespan. We can do something about our metabolic age, which is our health span. Did you know that the average American spends the last 14 years of their lives in a state of declining health, with difficulty completing everyday tasks? What if we could be empowered to change that? What if we can write a different story for ourselves? The MetaPWR system is the first and only system that synergistically supports a healthy metabolism, curbs cravings, sustains normal range glycemic and insulin response evenly throughout the day, and naturally promotes cellular aging or energy. Those using this line have reported improvements in eyesight, energy, pain, neuropathy, sleep, skin and hair growth, mood, mobility, and strength. It causes the body to build muscle. Before we get into too many details in MetaPWR, let's look at a few of the benefits in these before and after pictures. The young lady on the top has been using MetaPWR for 4 months. She's had amazing results, specifically with improvements on her face, eyes, and hair. The gentleman on the bottom left experienced improved skin elasticity, darker hair growth. He got his blood work taken after 3 weeks on MetaPWR, and it showed a 40-point decrease in cholesterol, a 25-point decrease in his LDL, and a 57-point decrease in his triglycerides. On the right side, you see a 8-year-old lady who had red spots on her arms. Anytime she bumped herself, they would appear. Doctors biopsied and said, it's just what happens when you get older. Did you hate that? After using MetaPWR for just 3 months, the spots are totally gone. She has seen other changes too. A 60-pound weight loss, thicker hair, nails growing, and lower A1C. So let's talk a little bit about MetaPWR Advantage. It's one of my favorite MetaPWR products. This is doTERRA's collagen. And unlike any other on the market, this product includes 9 types of collagen, over 70% tripeptide, so your body absorbs it 12 times more than other collagens. A peptide is simply put as a large protein chain, too large for your body to break down and use for its full benefit. When it's broken down into tripeptides, simply smaller protein chains, the body can absorb and utilize them in their entirety. Advantage comes in small packets with freeze-dried collagen and other nutrients to mix with 4 to 6 ounces of cool or cold water. Please don't use hot water. MetaPWR Advantage promotes healthy biological aging and improves health span by helping aging cells. It activates longevity genes and improves cognitive function. It supports lean muscle and connective tissue, and it improves skin density, elasticity, and firmness. If you love science and knowing how and why these products work, ask your wellness advocate to send our deep dive recordings for lifelong vitality and MetaPWR. Does anyone have a testimonial on MetaPWR Advantage that they could share with us this evening? Oh, Teresa, yay.
Hi, I'm Teresa, and I've been using MetaPWR since they came out with it, which has been a couple of years now. And it's so simple to take because you just did about 4 or 6 ounces of water. I use a jar myself, just cut this little packet open, put it in there, shake it up and swig it down. But one thing that I find I really love about the MetaPWR is it helps my soft tissue, my cartilage, and my connective tissue feel better. So because my work is very vigorous, I'm a massage therapist, I use my hands and a lot of upper body strength, and I'm always working on men that are much bigger than I am, and I get very tired and sore. And so this really helps me get through my work day. And also it helps me, I feel that it helps me prevent injury. I don't get injured because I'm taking it. And also several years ago, I went through a lot of dental work and I had to take a lot of antibiotics, and my hair got really short and stunted and it wouldn't grow, and it was really just this awful color. And since I started taking the MetaPWR, look, my hair has grown out really long and it's very thick. It's always been thick, but now it's just like fuller kind of thickness, and also shinier. And also my nails, I keep them cut short, but my nails grow really quickly. I have to keep them cut back all the time. And I don't have as many ridges and dents in them. You know, when you get ridges and spots, that's an indicator of some kind of nutritional deficiency. And I used to have a lot of them, and now I don't have very many at all.
That's a great
So
testimonial.
I just love the MetaPWR. I take it every day.
Awesome. Thank you, Teresa, for that testimony. That was awesome. Okay, now we're going to change directions and we're heading down the road to oils. And I'd like to introduce my friend Julie, who's going to take you through the journey of essential oils with doTERRA. Take it away, Julie.
Thanks, Leslie. My name is Julie Staub. I live in Papillion, Nebraska, and I've been using doTERRA since December of 2013. I have 2 amazing sisters, one of which is on the call tonight, Bobby, and they were the ones that introduced me to oils. I didn't believe I had any need, so I started with skincare, but it didn't take me long, and it was information like this that showed me that I could indeed benefit from having essential oils in my home. So I'm really excited to share this. An independent study was conducted by Roseman University, and I believe when I was at convention, they had the professor from Roseman University that talked about the fact that they had ordered oils from doTERRA without doTERRA's knowing in the very beginning so that his lab could do some tests on it. And you can read that screen. From their testing, they discovered that doTERRA essential oils specifically were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation. To me, that brings a lot of hope. They were beneficial in supporting metabolic health, another win, and they provided positive effects for a healthy inflammatory response. And we've talked about the importance of having a healthy inflammatory response, especially in light of dis-ease. So it's a win-win-win, right? They also discovered that essential oils from competitors had minimal effects. The study concluded that the therapeutic potential of essential oils is highly dependent on the complete composition of the oil. That means it comes packaged the way it was designed to be packaged and not isolated. Sourcing, processing, and characterization are critical, and doTERRA stands out. And the reason for that is because our pursuit is purity, which is pretty exciting, and we'll learn more about that in just a moment. So what is the doTERRA difference? I'm going to keep talking while the slide comes up on the screen, but when an essential oil is truly pure, they don't include any fillers, any additives. There are no synthetic ingredients. There are no dilution processes that have been done to it. It is an essential oil. Now, independent lab tests, they've shown that a majority of the brands available to consumers, you and me, are not pure. doTERRA, because we source our oils from plants grown in their ideal environments, this makes all the difference for the chemical profile and the therapeutic effectiveness of an oil. And that's one of the reasons we're getting oils in us, on us, and around us, is so that our bodies experience support and health. Remember, we talked about the root cause at the very beginning. Well, every batch of doTERRA oil is tested for ideal chemistry and consistency so that our oils do what we expect them to do. So whether you buy a bottle of peppermint today or 10 years from now, if that's something that you use to alleviate head tension, you can trust that it'll happen every single time. Over 54 tests are done on each batch of doTERRA essential oils, from the farmer to the consumer. Our doTERRA oils can be used topically, aromatically, and generally internally. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But I want you to know that people turn to doTERRA because they want safe, affordable, and effective solutions for their family's health. That's why the owners started doTERRA. They went out searching for these solutions. So let's look at exactly what this can mean for us. Well, let's start with safety. People are looking for safe and effective solutions, those without those dangerous side effects or the risks of addictions from many over-the-counter and pharmaceuticals. Likely, we all have our favorite pharmaceutical commercial. I know it drives me nuts, and then I get to drive my husband nuts when I go off about all of the long list of side effects. So we just mentioned that independent lab tests show that most oils on the market have contaminants or synthetic markers. We suggest, because of this, we suggest you do not ingest any other brand of essential oil. We learned earlier that most oils on the market are adulterated or contaminated, even if the label says pure. So always read your label, and I encourage you to do that with doTERRA as well. Because if you can ingest them, you'll note that it has, it's called a GRAS standard, but you can read that. It's called supplemental labeling. So doTERRA recognized that the essential oil industry didn't have a standard for purity that ensured safety. So to raise the bar, they created a new standard, CPTG. And this means Certified Pure Tested Grade. And I tell you, that was a tongue twister for me when I first started using doTERRA. Well, the beautiful thing about this standard is that it's beyond organic, and it includes significant testing that is not cheap. doTERRA invests in you and in me. They invest to ensure that we have the most effective, safest product, because that is the best for us. Many doTERRA oils are safe to ingest, and just like I mentioned, look for the food grade label on the bottle. So let's transition when we're talking about safety. These images on the right side, they're a little bit startling, but these two little girls were spending the night at their grandmother's house. And they were familiar with doTERRA. They were using doTERRA at home. Their mom would put it on their chests and on their feet to help them relax, to get to sleep more easily. So at grandma's house, she happened to have run out of doTERRA, the doTERRA lavender, but she had a backup. It was from another company. And she thought, well, it's just lavender. It's going to work. Well, the girls ended up with chemical burns that had scarring on their chests for almost a year. Now, we're not saying that this is going to be your reaction by using another brand of essential oils, but we do want to drive the point home that purity matters when you're putting these oils in you, on you, and around you. So doTERRA oils are safe to use at any age, from newborn to great grandma. Brand matters for safety. So let's transition to affordability and effectiveness. Believe it or not, affordability is one of the reasons that people turned to doTERRA. Pure oils are 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs. So this means a little bit goes a long way. So let's illustrate this. Using the chat feature, I want you to make a guess. A recent test of Costco peppermint showed that theirs was not 100% peppermint, even though the bottle said so. So how much peppermint do you suppose was in that bottle? Let me know your answers. Use the chat feature. We've got 10 drops. Anybody else? Everybody's quiet tonight. 50? Well, those are great guesses. It's actually just 10%. So less than 10 drops, I would say. So when you use a doTERRA CPTG oil, you get 100% of the real oil. And because of this, it makes it much cheaper than options that might be diluted or adulterated. So here's some fun facts about affordability. Every 15 ml bottle, and I have one around here somewhere, so if you just want to see the sizing, it contains 250 drops of essential oil. And typically a dose is 1 to 2 drops. So you know that this bottle is going to last you a good long time. On average, depending on the oil in the bottle, remember we source all over the world. Some of the oils have different practices for harvesting and distillation, and that impacts the price. But most of the time, on average, it's less than $1 per application or treatment. So here's an essential oil tip. When you are addressing an ailment, it's always better to use less oil, but more frequently. For example, 1 drop of oil on a wound every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day is more effective than using 8 drops of oil on the wound all at one time. Use less, more frequently. And we remind each other of that all of the time because sometimes we forget. So effectiveness. Now, this is a favorite microbiology lesson. And if there are any scientists on the call today, we know this is very, very simplified, but here we go. So I like to make a fist with my hand and pretend that this is a cell. And on the outside of the cell is an oily membrane, and it keeps bad things out and good things in. So a bad thing that it keeps out is that green blob that you see on your screen. And when you go to the doctor with that green blob, the doctor typically writes a prescription, and most of you probably have taken one before, for an antibiotic. And usually in 8 to 10 days, you start to feel better, right? But it also comes with the side effects because of what that green blob medication does to your gut. Well, turning to the inside, and by the way, there are essential oils that can effectively address both your gut health and take care of that bacterial infection. But when you get to the cell, I want you to know that viruses, they actually can penetrate that cell membrane, and they reside on the inside, duplicating itself over and over. Well, because that membrane is oily and an essential oil is oily, it's pretty easy for that essential oil to penetrate through and help us to be proactive when addressing that virus. So no longer do we have to go home, drink lots of water, sit on the couch, rest really well, and wait for time to pass. We can take advantage of using our essential oils to stop the duplication of that virus and support our immune system to work effectively and optimally. So when you have your essential oils on hand, you will have effective tools to begin supporting your body immediately instead of waiting to see your doctor, which also saves you money on your copays. So let's transition into some of our essential oils. There are so many that support the immune system, and these are just but a few. I want to show everybody, I have a keychain, and this keychain, I love to be prepared when I'm out and about. So some of the things I have in mind, I've got grapefruit, I have On Guard, I have peppermint, wild orange, tea tree. Those are great things to carry with you so that you can be prepared wherever you go. But we're not going to dive into all of these. I'm just going to talk about my favorite one. And of this, it is the On Guard Protective Blend. I like to, if I'm feeling any kind of throat irritation, I will actually take a little shot glass, put some water in. I will add 1 to 2 drops of On Guard, lemon, and tea tree. Gargle, spit that out because hopefully it's drawn out those toxins. And then if I feel like I still want extra support, I'll put those in again, add some more water, and then I'll down the hatch with that one. But On Guard stops the growth of viruses and bacteria. When you diffuse it, so remember we can use our oils 3 ways. It cleans the air of airborne pathogens. And like I mentioned, I use it for this reason, for sore throats, to help knock those out. But remember, the key is to use it frequently right away. And it's so worth it to avoid being under the weather for an entire week. Just remember, in you, on you, and around you. So second thing, we're going to talk about our medicine cabinet makeover, so to speak. It's great when we have them filled with these safe and effective oils. And the greatest thing about them is that they are without addictive properties and without all of the negative side effects that often come from those pharmaceuticals and over-the-counters. So it's great to have them ready at a moment's notice to address life's little emergencies. So you can read on the screen how these are helpful, but so that we honor our time, I'm just going to share a little bit about my experience with lavender. Now, the interesting thing for me is I'm not fond of the floral oils. So I don't typically want to reach for lavender, but I love what lavender does. This one is known as the Swiss Army knife of oils. It's also known as the calming oil, and every first aid kit needs lavender in it. It calms the skin and it also calms the mind. It's great for bug bites and bee stings. I call it God's antihistamine. It helps pain to go away almost immediately and the itching to stop right away. It soothes and heals burns and skin irritations. It takes away that burning immediately and helps to prevent any kind of scarring. It's great if you struggle with sleep or just needing something to help you unwind, relieve stress and anxiety. And if you suffer from seasonal threats or allergies, like I mentioned, this to me is God's antihistamine. So this one is a must-have. It also can increase the body's serotonin levels. So an example of how I have used it, I'm using it, I'm in that season where my hair is thinning. And so every night before I go to bed, I go boop, boop, boop. I take the cap off my bottle and literally I just go boop, boop, boop on the top of my head. And I do the same thing with rosemary, and then I brush it through my hair and I go to bed. And so that is to help with hair growth, stimulation, but it also is calming to my mind and it's right near my brain. So it helps me to get a really great night's sleep. All right, let's move into pain and inflammation. So we learned at the beginning of this workshop the impact of how inflammation causes disease, dis-ease, and doTERRA has safe, effective, non-addictive tools. And they are, when I say effective, these are amazing. The oils and products on the screen are some of the favorites to address both of those, pain and inflammation. So Deep Blue is a must-have for muscle and joint health. It's also great for if you bump your elbow or your knee and you feel like bruising is going to come on. It's great because it has helichrysum in it, which is wonderful. So let me see here. It's a great oil for muscles, for joint, and actually bone healing. I have an amazing story about that, but to honor your time, I'm not going to share it right now. But you can reach out to me at another time if you want to hear it. It alleviates back pain And if you have a nasty bruise forming, oh, I just mentioned that, it can stop it in its tracks. There is a copaiba, there's a deep blue stick that has copaiba in it, and we've not really taken a deep dive in copaiba, but it makes it really easy to apply because you don't get it on your hands. It's like a jumbo glue stick. So, well, here's a little more about copaiba. It is also great for pain and inflammation. It is a super anti-inflammatory, and actually it's super for many, many of your body systems. I put 2 drops under my tongue every single night and every morning. Layered with other oils, that increases the effectiveness. It pushes that first oil deeper into your skin. Peppermint is also a great driver oil as well. When you really need to boost pain relief, this is what you're going to use with your deep blue. Anybody that deals with oral pain, great to rub on your jawline. Let's see. If you suffer from emotional strain, such as anxiety or depression, this oil can calm and soothe. And it is helpful for ADD and ADHD. And it's also a fantastic CBD replacement. And I don't want to go take a deep dive into that, but it is really cool how it works with the endocannabinoid system. So if you want to, come to convention and you'll learn big words like that. All right, so let's wrap up this oil section with oils to support our mood and emotional well-being. For those of you who indicated at the beginning that you or someone in your family deals with heightened emotions or lows, these are great options to consider. An essential oil is the aromatic compound. And so when you breathe that in, it goes over the olfactory nerves into the limbic system that manages your memories and supports your emotions. And so they're really, really powerful. So one of my favorites, and I have it in here, it's called Balance. And I don't have a Balance downstairs, so I'm going to use my adaptive bottle. But I want to show you just how easy it is to use your oils. Now, this one, you'll note, does not have a supplemental label. So we wouldn't take this one internally. But each morning when I get up, I put 2 or 3 drops of Balance in my hands. After my shower, I squirt in some lotion, massage my hands together, and that's how I moisturize my whole body, but also breathing it in really deeply. So adaptive is the one that I just grabbed. Why this one is a powerhouse is it helps the brain stay in executive functioning in the frontal cortex instead of going into fight or flight. So people that struggle with changes that come up, this is a fantastic one. If you've got kids that are starting school, this would be a wonderful one to put on their neck, their back of their spine, on the bottoms of their feet, and then have them just breathe that 3 to 5 big, deep breaths out of that bottle. It brings a calming effect over your body, and you can use it through a diffuser or applying it topically, like I mentioned. Balance is known as the grounding blend. That one is my favorite. Like I mentioned, it smells like a forest. It also is wonderful to diffuse. It's grounding emotionally. It can help with grief, sadness, overwhelm, heaviness, just getting through the day, feeling emotionally strong and grounded. And I really believe that Balance has helped me to be able to speak publicly way better than I ever used to. So the last one, Serenity, that we'll talk about, that is the calming blend. Restful blend is actually what it's called. And it's helpful for sleep. And doTERRA actually has 3 products in the Serenity line. I would encourage you to go to doTERRA.com and check those out to learn more about them. They are really, really pretty powerful. So we have really learned some powerful things about pure essential oils just now. And this is just truly the tip of the iceberg. There are so many things and so many ways to support your physical and emotional health using these natural products. And we want you to know you're not alone in your journey. We are here. You'll be a part of our community if you're just getting started right now. We will walk alongside you to help you find the solutions that you need for your family. So I'm turning this back over to Sarah as she wraps up our class tonight.
Thank you, Julie. Isn't she amazing, you guys? And I want to highlight lavender. So I've been using lavender a ton. We have really bad smoke here lately, as you can hear. And so I've been taking that in a shot glass multiple times a day, putting it on the roof of my mouth. And you guys, it's been night and day. Like my eyes were swollen. My nose was completely plugged, like night and day. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. So you guys, I want to just talk about how I was that mom. We had tried everything for our son's colic. We had tried, excuse me, we tried Digestin one time and could not believe the results. They are safe and effective. They're the only thing I reach for with no side effects. I apologize. So let's fast forward to me when I had a huge health crisis, and you guys can ask about that later. But it was crazy, you guys, because of these essential oils, I'm considered a walking miracle by so many freaking doctors that I talk to. Not even kidding. I never imagined myself actually building a doTERRA business that makes such an impact for good. I have been able to make a difference and change people's lives in a significant way. Health, emotions, financially, and just like before this class, I had a leader say, I got a paycheck and I can't believe where it came from. Like, how do I explain this? It was super exciting. Time flexibility. I get to work when it's convenient for me and my family. I was able to take the whole week of fair off with my sons and spend that week with them and be in the moment. I did not have to take time off. I didn't have to do all the things. I was in the moment, came back, and I still had a paycheck waiting for me. Making new friends from around the globe. People I likely would have never met. You guys, I would have never met Leslie. I would have never met Lori. Like these amazing, amazing blessings. And Julie, you guys, I would have never met these beautiful people without this business. doTERRA has changed my life. If any of this has sparked something in you, which if it hasn't, you're silly. If you're looking for an additional income stream, talk with your wellness advocate because they will get this recording, or we're going to talk about the financial wellness. We'll get that recording to you guys for that workshop. Okay, that keychain, super cool keychain that they had talked about, and they had, mine's in my office. It's also in the truck that Luke has. But if you guys are wanting to get one for free, host a workshop or a class online. Super exciting. They're fun. I love hosting workshops. I love doing workshops. As you can tell, I love to talk. We love to help people discover the power of these natural products and oils. So I want you to invite 5 people to this Zoom workshop that we host every Monday at the same time in the same Zoom room. Or if you've thought of family or friends who might enjoy learning at a workshop geared specifically to them, I want you to talk to the person that invited you here. Because in that case, you guys can host one together in person or even on Zoom. I've done both where I hosted one in person and I had people on Zoom at the same time watching me. It was super fun. And they got that free keychain. And they got the keychain with 6 people because they got those people that were on Zoom as well. So totally doable, super, super easy, and it's so much fun. And your wellness advocate is super excited as well because they get to talk about all their favorite things, right? All right, it's almost time for our giveaway. So let's wrap up tonight's workshop. We're so glad you've been here tonight. We have a favor to ask though. In the chat, you'll find a link to a very quick survey. And Julie, yep, she's on it. Excuse me. There should be a Google form in the chat, and you can use the QR code on the screen as well. Your answers will really help your wellness advocate who invited you here to serve you well and enabling them to target your health needs, offering solutions that can realistically help you reach your goals. And so when I say that, I'm going to pause for a second. When I talk about your goals, it's not about what we need or what we think you should order. We're talking about your individual needs because you and your family matter. And I need you guys to really, really sink into that. We'll give you a couple minutes to fill that out because it takes a couple minutes and we're totally good with that. And I'm going to sing the Jeopardy song. Okay, so as you're completing this survey, see, Julie got into it. I want you to put done in the chat. We don't want anyone to miss out before we move on to our giveaway. So, have any dones? Do I have any dones? Done. Nice. Nice. Okay. So thank you for helping your wellness advocate be able to do their job well and take a step toward wellness. We love to support people in their journey. All right, so it's giveaway time. I don't know. I can look. I can do it too. All right, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to just do the wheel. So give me a second. All right, spinning. And it looks like, I'm probably going to chop the name, Danita. Danita is the winner for tonight. Whoop, whoop. So I want you to watch your email inbox for 2 wonderful ebook resources from your wellness advocate. Whoever invited you here today, I didn't get to see that. But one ebook is on MetaPWR and the other is on Life on Vitality. These ebooks are filled with ins and outs of both products. As we learned tonight, healing from the inside out is what a body can do when we give it to the right tools. We're excited for you to have them freaking both. They're amazing. I love them so much. All right. I'm just keep wrapping it up because that's what I do. All right. So we want to thank you guys so much. In the last hour, we've covered a lot of ground. Hopefully you have been encouraged to consider how doTERRA can be a powerful support for your health and wellness. Within the next 48 hours, your wellness advocate will reach out to you to continue this conversation. They will answer any questions that have come to mind and help you find the solutions that match the health needs you indicated on the survey. In case you missed that, we will post the link again. And as we said at the beginning, our heart is to serve you well. One last thing. You are not alone on this journey. I felt alone for quite a while. I really did. And you're not. You will have support from your wellness advocate, an invitation to our private Facebook group, which is Good Vibes Tribe, and everyone is invited to our Tuesday night Continue Education. I want you to use that QR code or Zoom room number on the screen to get you there. We look forward to cheering you on, and we thank you so much for coming to this workshop. It was so amazing to have you here.